Hey Eric, I hope you're doing well and I hope you had a great weekend. Sorry that I'm getting to you late again. Um, Monday I traveled back to my house and then yesterday I ended up packing a lot of my stuff because this quarter is going to be crazy and I won't really have much time to pack it, and I'm moving in June, really the end of May. So I decided to get a head start, and then needed to clean up my house, and then I had some school stuff to do still, even though this week I have a break. I also have a lot of school stuff still. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, so this past weekend, okay, let me start off with last week. Last week I had finals, and I ended up doing really well on all my finals. I ended up getting all A's and one B. And then on Oh yeah, and also I am excited that UNC won. I have to tell you a cool story. So my mom, if you know the coach of UNC, his name's Roy Williams. My mom is actually best friends with his sister-in-law, and Roy Williams is from Asheville, where I'm from. So this was the last year I got to go to Roy Williams' house, and I took pictures like of all this stuff, like Michael Jordan's rings, like all this stuff. And then I took a picture of his toilet because I was like, I have sat on Roy Williams' toilet. Basically, our butts have touched. It's pretty weird. But anyway, yeah, so that happened, and yeah, so that was really cool. And then last week, my dad got a chance to go to see. I don't know who UNC was playing, but they were playing Greenville, South Carolina, and my mom's best friend gave my dad tickets, but he ended up staying home with me, which is really sweet of him. And then also, what happened this weekend is I met a guy at the gym at home, and we ended up going out on a date on Friday, and then we had a lot of fun, and then ended up staying Saturday and then Sunday together. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I just went back home and I told him that I was leaving, but I would be back in June. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm really looking for a relationship right now, but I guess it will work out if it is meant to be. So now I'm just getting back in the hang of things. Um, Also, I didn't track all of my macros since I left. On my sheet, I just put since last week on my sheet. If you want me to add all the weeks I was in lab intensive, I can. But on some of them, I didn't eat as many macros on last week for Monday and Tuesday just because I kind of overdid it. Some at lab intensive, but other than that, that stuff's there. And I also didn't even weigh myself for the first time until yesterday today, just because I've been very self-conscious, and I know you keep on saying, like, it doesn't matter what the weight, but I feel like I've gained a lot, not a lot of weight, but I've gained weight, and it's like not in a good way. I feel like it's been more fat so than muscle because I haven't been pushing myself at the gym this past month. But you know what? I'm ready to get back, and I started your new workout program yesterday, and I really like it so far. Thank you so much for switching it up for me. Um, so I just started this new workout plan yesterday, and my waist and hip measurements are the same: 25 inches for my waist, 35 inches for my hips. Um, I'm not taking any new supplements. I actually stopped taking creatine while I was at lab intensive just because it's like the powder kind and you have to weigh it. So it's getting a hassle. And also my creatine doesn't have a scoop in it, so I feel like I'm getting way more than 5 grams. Like I measured it out and I'm like, this seems like a lot. So I stopped taking it. I can start taking it again if you want me to. Um, I did have more fluids and sodium than usual. I went out on that day on Friday. We had sushi, and then me and my dad, oh yeah, this is what we did on Saturday. We went to this place called Biscuit Head, and the biscuits are like legit the size of your head. Well, I hadn't eaten any breakfast, and we were going for breakfast, but the line took 40 minutes just standing. But my dad had never been there before, so I was like, Dad, we have to stand in this line. And I ate the whole entire thing, but it was biscuit with pulled pork, jalapeno, pimento cheese, bacon, drizzled with maple syrup. It was so freaking good. But yeah. And then, sorry, back to my update. So for normal days, my protein's 120, carbs is 210, fat 58, high days 120, 260 for carbs and 58 for fat. So my stress levels last week were pretty high. Like I said, I was sitting a lot, not moving. Like this week, my hips hurt so bad. Like, I don't know, it feels like something's wrong or something. But I know there's nothing wrong. I just need to stretch. My sleep was, it was actually pretty bad last week. I was really bad last week, and I would drink like 4 coffees, and then in the afternoon, like about 6, like I would have another coffee, and then I would take 4 melatonin, and you're only supposed to take 1 to go to sleep. But I was so anxious, like I just knocked myself out, and that's the only way I could sleep. So it was like kind of really unhealthy last week. And again, like I wasn't walking hardly at all just because I was studying. I had 3 finals last week back to back, and it was just very stressful. I hit most of my macros. There was a couple off days, like those 2 days before, where I didn't hit my macros. My hunger levels, I was full and satisfied. And I got all my training days in, and I was somewhat motivated to train just because I was not being active last week because of those tests, and I was so drained mentally. I just like kind of all my workouts sucked, but it got better by the weekend. So I had a decent, okay training week. So right now, how I physically feel, like I feel like I always tell you I feel bloated, but like I don't know, something about, I don't know, I just feel fat. And I know I'm not fat, and I'm really, really prepared to go through this next couple of months before I have to move home and like give it my all. Like I want to train really hard. I want to always like adhere to my macros now, and like a part of me wants to diet, but then a part of me actually wants to build muscle because I feel like I haven't had the chance yet, and like I really, really want to give it to my all. But yeah, like I said, I feel bloated, I feel fat, like, but I feel like once I get back on track after this week, like I prep my meals. I made some like hash brown, like egg casserole, and then I'm grilling chicken tonight and Brussels sprouts. Like I think I'll feel a lot better about myself. I wasn't really sore last week. And I did complete all my training days and cardio days. Mentally, I feel geared, like I feel determined, and I feel like I want to put my all into everything, like I told you before. And then my energy and strength levels last week sucked. So for exercise that I'm struggling with, so I've been having problems with my shoulder. Like sometimes when I do shoulder press, like I do fine for the first set. Like I can get all the reps in, then I wait, and then I do the second, third set, and I can't really complete all the number of reps that I did on that first set, even though I've rested for a while. And then I get this, it's only on my left side. I get this tingling down my arm, and it's like a nerve being compressed. But then, like, all this stuff that I've learned with PT school, like, I've gone to PT for the shoulder before because I was doing that. It was last year, and all of a sudden, my arm was tingling, and I just had weakness in my hands and everything. So I went to PT, and she tried to help me out. But then I realized, like, my PT kind of sucked. But I kind of think I've diagnosed myself with a tight pec minor, and it's just like causing it to be more forward because I've noticed like the rotation on the sides are different. Like this one's more efficient. This one, like even when I do triceps or bicep curls, like something about the shoulder looks off. So I think I'm going to start doing some stretches for my pecs, and I'm going to do like muscle release stuff with the lacrosse ball. Yeah, and do all that stuff. So hopefully that will help. And I really, my legs, well, my hip flexor on my right side has been hurting really bad on my squats, and I really think it's because of me sitting down for so freaking long with studying, and I just need to actually stand up more, go on walks more, and I need to get in the habit of stretching. And that's what I'm going to do this week while I have off. I am going to write out a stretching plan for me, maybe morning and afternoon. I think that will help me a lot. Yeah. Oh, and also, I've been popping my friends' backs all this week. It's really cool. I did get some more activity than usual. Me and that guy, we went hiking on Saturday, and we watched the new Power Rangers movie. Power Rangers movie was pretty good. I don't know if you grew up watching that, but I did. I did travel on Monday, and I didn't really wake up at any different times, and I did eat out. Oh, and I did have me a margarita on Saturday because I really deserved one. I am measuring my progress via pictures, friends, and how my clothes fit. And my clothes fit pretty much the same as they did before. But yeah. There isn't really anything I'm struggling with macros. I felt like I did a lot better this past lab. And I'm just ready to get back in the swing of things. So for personal development, I got this book. Well, part of it is for school, but also I'm going to read it on my own. It's called Learn Optimism, How to Change Your Mind and Your Life. Yeah, I think that will actually help me a lot. It will help me with my own life and help me teach patients in the future. Overall, I feel really good about everything. Just kind of, I've had setbacks, but I'm ready to get back in gear with everything. And yeah, so I hope you had a great week and had a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later.